Hey all, it's Nardi.
And Chris.
And this is the Daily Espresso, short shots of big ideas. And we're coming live from Hawthorne Common in Hawthorne, so aptly named. And this place is an institution. It's absolutely awesome. And we're doing it a little bit late today because, we thought we'd mix it up a bit. And this is a great place to also have an awesome thing to eat. So we're enjoying a bit of lunch whilst or just before we get into this production or this broadcast. So today we're going to talk about marketing, and really excited and really pumped to be talking about marketing. And Chris, we're going to shoot straight to you because we know you guys are all at lunch, and you're all and we can see 8, 9 viewers. Awesome, thanks for joining us, guys. And by the way, as we talk about this, feel free to throw some comments in because we'd love to make this interactive. And if we get a chance, love to answer your comments, and if we can do it on the fly, we definitely will. And you'll see Chris always holding up his little sign there. It's just people used to give out free hugs. Now we're just giving out free business questions.
Jump in,
All right. Well, Chris has got a question. So we're going to talk about marketing. Chris, why don't you give us your first question?
So most business owners, and I guess cafe and restaurant owners in particular, are probably time poor and maybe budget poor as well when it comes to marketing. So, Nardi, what would you say if someone is both time poor and resource poor in terms of money? What would be the number one thing that they should do to start right away when it comes to marketing their cafe or their business?
Good one. The first one is, go straight to social, right? Go straight to social media and leverage off your team. If someone asks me how do we market, and you could be an established business or a startup, right? So if you're bootstrapping and you've just pumped $1 million into the setup of your new awesome restaurant, or a few $100,000 that you've had to borrow and you've got to pay the loans now, and you haven't made a dollar yet through the point of sale system. Hopefully it's integrated with your accounting system. Side point, but if you haven't done that, get your team on board. Get them on board ASAP. And what I want you to do is let them understand why you're doing what you're doing, the approach. Okay, so social media is massive. If you're a restaurant or cafe, you want to be hanging around Instagram and Facebook without a doubt. Don't discount Facebook as something that's just where your friends and your family hang out. That used to be the case. It's now dead and gone. Facebook and Instagram are probably Instagram overtaking Facebook. And now one of the biggest gathering of people looking to network for new things, looking to be marketed to. And what you got to do is market to where engage in awesome marketing to where your market is. If you're in a restaurant cafe world, or you're in a visual space, if you're a photographer or creative, if you're anything to do with a visual aspect, you want to hang out on Instagram because that's where your followers are, that's where your market is, and that's where the people that you'll engage with are. So the big one is get your team involved. Get them in a meeting, explain to them what you're trying to achieve. Give them a target, whether it be 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 followers on Instagram by the end of the month or in 3 months' time. Reward them if that actually happens, and then set that reward, and then make that a critical number, and every day run a meeting and announce what that number is. Use your team to your advantage. What you don't know is that your team are better marketers than you. They're unbelievable. If they're Gen Y or millennials, they were born with one of these things almost in their hands, and they know how it ticks. They know how to. I mean, we were just taking a photo now, and Lauren, who's one of the awesome people working here at Hawthorne Common, was automatically giving me, trying to give me advice on how I should place it and all the rest. Now, anyone that looked twice, and then when we uncovered, she's actually studying journalism. So how smart are the people that are working for you? Capitalize and leverage. It's going to cost you nothing. It's going to have them engaged. And the best thing about it is they're going to love being a part of that success. So leverage off your team, use your team, because they're going to be an integral factor of you actually hitting those metrics and hitting those critical numbers. So Facebook, you can go down the line of Facebook ads, and they're pretty cheap. They can be very demographically targeted, and that can work for you. But people don't want to be screamed at, right? They want to be pulled in, and that's the big one with Instagram. Because, content, guys. Right? Content. Yep, content, just like what we're doing here. Instagram's your place of power. It costs you nothing. You can go down the line of Instagram ads if you want to, because that's just come out, and that's just the only other benefit of that is clickable posts, so you can basically click and link out of it. But Instagram's where you're at. We've had photographer clients out there that have gone from nothing to booked out, oversubscribed and overbooked, purely because of the visual impact of Instagram, and people have basically seen the amazing shots that they've put up and said, we want a piece of that. So you want to do the same with that. Limited budget, it's free, get out there and get your team to do it. Another one is, don't be shy about doing it, is let everyone know that you're on social, right? I know people automatically think you're on social, but let them know. Run a campaign about it, right? Have something up on the counter where people go to pay and say, like us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, engage with us, and your next coffee's free. But give that a try. Run that campaign for a week and see what happens. They're my main tips for marketing. I want to get back to my food. Chris, do you have another one before my Cuban goes cold? But Chris, do you have any other questions?
Nah, look, all I'd say is just keep sharing, guys. Keep adding in the comments. Hashtag Daily Espresso. Add your questions, guys. If you've got any, add them in there. We'll answer them. All right, keep jumping in. Loving the shares, loving the comments. Really appreciate it. Keep adding them in there, and we'll answer your questions.
Yeah, and Phil from Singapore yesterday had an awesome comment up there saying we should definitely throw it up on YouTube and put something in there. Phil, shout out to you. Thanks for tuning in from Singapore. Stay tuned because it's coming. So it's definitely something that we'd love to do and love to put through. Chris, I think, is organising the green screen in the office as we speak. But we're getting a massive kick out of doing this and coming live. So obviously we'll do it in due course. Again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Any questions? Please feel free to throw them in there, whether it's now or later on when you're watching. Ask us, because we'll endeavour to answer them the best way we can next time around. Cheers, it's Nardi.
And Chris.
And this is Daily Espresso, short shots of big ideas. Cheers.